Hey, what's happening, everybody? Welcome back to another live stream. I am joined by JD, and he is a huge SHIB Army supporter. We're going to get into that in this live stream, talk about the project he's working on, and all of that fun stuff. We're also going to hear his SHIB story as well. I think that's really cool to just kind of hear people out in terms of how they came into SHIB, how it all started for them. So, JD, how you doing, man?
It's been a little while. I'm doing great. It's great to be here. Been looking forward to this. So yeah, I'm ready to go.
Definitely, man. So why don't you just start with your SHIB story, man? How did it all start for you?
I got it. If you guys don't know who I am, I'm JD's Updates. And I've been an investor of SHIB since there were around only 15,000 holders. And, it's been a great passion of mine. I believe in the project so much. And so something that I had done was I wrote a proposal regarding, different kinds of solutions, different kinds of applications that you can build around the Shiba Inu ecosystem to kind of bring it to its peak potential. And essentially that proposal really popped off, and we had several YouTubers talking about it, and several influencers like, Milkshake commenting, SHIB Informer, and on and on. And we even had Shytoshi Kusama himself answer questions regarding that proposal on your Pop's live stream, Shytoshi Saturdays. And so it's been a kind of crazy journey so far, but I do know that we're just getting started. And I've just been a faithful Shiba Inu member, a SHIB Army member since, near the beginning, and I'm here to stay. So yeah, that's pretty much my story. Now, obviously, I'm starting my new project, Paw Zone, which is essentially going to be my way of contributing after the proposal. And it's going to be an NFT marketplace and a gaming guild that is designed to benefit the Shiba Inu tokens and the Shiba Inu ecosystem as a whole, while also being applications that users of those applications will prefer over the rest. So very exciting. And I'm just so happy to be where I'm at with the project so far.
That's awesome, man. So how cool was it when like Shytoshi reaches, you reach like the top of the mountain in the SHIB ecosystem? Yeah. Did you ever envision it going that way, or did you just kind of, hey, let's try this thing, see what happens? What did you think?
Yeah, that's a great question. It was really a spare of the moment kind of situation. I hadn't really intended that to explode like it did. However, I'm more than grateful for it. And, I think it was more of like a dream come true kind of situation, because, like you said, I never did kind of expect it to get the kind of recognition that it did. But I'm really blessed. So.
Definitely, man. Yeah, I am too. I mean, it's amazing to see this community and how it's grown. And I remember talking about it, just thinking, could this be something like this? Like, there's always like the thought of, well, maybe it could it get to the top 10, right, to the top 15, and man, to see where it's gone, it's crazy. Some days I just sit back and think how lucky we all are to be in this thing this early still, and to just be part of this great ecosystem. So why don't we get into some more details on Paw Zone in terms of like where you're at now, kind of how about actually what have you done already, and like what is still kind of in the works right now?
Well, something I should probably mention first off is that something that I'm pretty heavy on when it comes to cryptocurrencies in general is the NFT gaming space. And so that was something that I had mentioned in that proposal, in which, as you can see, Shiba Inu, its ecosystem is definitely heavily on the gaming sector now. And I even wrote a solution discussing, a Shiba Inu game and discussing Shiba lands. And now you see this new Medium article that discusses the new Shiba lands, as well as the method of distribution, which is also the way that I had written in that proposal using Leash. And so essentially, I've been in the gaming sector. I've been in the NFT sector for quite some time. And so it only made sense that I should pursue this area when it comes to my contributions to the Shiba Inu ecosystem. Ryoshi, this is exactly what he always wanted. He always wanted people to build in a very decentralized manner and expand on the ecosystem with, using the members themselves, using the SHIB army. And so this is the result of that. And so here I have Paw Zone, which will be the ultimate NFT marketplace and gaming guild for the Shiba Inu ecosystem. And
now, it's super cool because they kind of did their own thing with Shiboshis, but they were totally cool with you still launching this, right? I feel like most projects would be like, oh, wait, we're kind of doing our own thing. So is this going to be connected to the official NFT marketplace that SHIB's going to put together, or is it something different?
Great question. So this is the goal, right? This is the definitely the mission that we're trying to get to. I wrote a letter actually very recently, and I had tagged the developers themselves, and then Shaitoshi actually commented on it and made a tweet. However, it got removed, after 30 minutes. But I do believe it is because I think I need to get the approval of the whole Shiba Inu growth and defense breed first. And so we'll see how that goes. But clearly, the developers are looking into it. I'm not someone that's just a random person coming into the space and trying to create something. I've been here since the beginning. They know who I am. And so it's all about just building the trust and letting them know that my sentiment and my mission is positive, and it's to benefit the SHIB army and not myself.
I love it, man. And you said you've been in gaming for a while. How about crypto?
How about crypto for even longer? Yes. Yeah. I've been in crypto since 2015. So I've been in the game for quite some time. So yeah, I mean, I've been a very early investor and been very prosperous thanks to it.
That's awesome. So looking back at all your years in crypto, how does Shiba Inu compare to anything else you saw before it?
Well, it was like a match made in heaven, to be quite frank with you. Yeah. The reason is because I've stated this even on my Twitter account several times. It's in numerous tweets saying that Shiba Inu is essentially molding the two biggest aspects of crypto, which is DeFi and an NFT community, right? So essentially, Shiba Inu is a new method of an NFT community, right? Because it has all the same factors and same elements, but at the same time, it has a massive amount of utility. And with an NFT collection, you only have 10,000 usually in a collection. However, this is, it can be as many members as you can possibly imagine. So now we're reaching, I believe, over 2 million holders now. So this is essentially the next level. It's molding all the different amazing elements when it comes to cryptocurrency.
Man, you referenced something that really hit a chord with me, and especially today with the DAO news coming out, and just how decentralized this really is, and the importance of DAO and people having the power. Really, I mean that's really what we're talking about, right? It's people being the governing body. In terms of just from that standpoint, can you think of anybody who's done it better than SHIB? It just seems like this has been such organically done, right?
Well, if you've been around very early on, it's very similar to Bitcoin. Actually, the creation of Bitcoin, you had a faceless creator, make Bitcoin and then just let it be and let the community make it what it is today. And so it's essentially the same exact process happening with Shiba Inu. And I absolutely love it because Shiba Inu is taking it, I think 10 steps further by actually letting the community build different projects surrounding the ecosystem to expand on it, which would benefit everyone. So I think it's a really magical thing. And I'm so happy to be a part of it. I can't express just how grateful I am.
Definitely, man. So I know you're a gamer. I'm not a gamer. I dabbled a little bit. I don't know if you probably remember Uncharted. I'm a third person shooter. That was my stopping point. Like after Uncharted 3, I kind of stopped gaming, but I used to love that, man. But I'm going somewhere with this. So in case people don't know what a gaming guild is, could you explain that a little bit?
Sure, absolutely. So a gaming guild is essentially a platform to let users who can't necessarily afford the entry fee to many of these play-to-earn games, and they will essentially be able to use them for free and get a vast majority of the profit for their contributions. So it's a great way for people to play when they can't necessarily afford the barrier to entry.
Gotcha. Now, in terms of like what you're working on right now, like this week, what's your day-to-day look like when you're working on something like this?
Oh, it's just a constant grind. I mean, I can't lie. It's a lot of work, and there's a lot going on behind the scenes. But it's also enjoyable to see it all come together the way it is. And as an investor from the very beginning, that's kind of the way that I'm creating this, is as an investor, like what would I want to see in a gaming guild or an NFT marketplace that's lacking right now? And so that was essentially the approach that I took. And again, I can't be more bullish on any other project except this one as a result of that, because I think these two applications are going to fix all the shortcomings of the current NFT marketplaces and gaming guilds that exist.
Have you been in contact with Shytoshi, Milkshake, anybody recently?
I did get into contact with Shytoshi very recently, and essentially what he had told me was he likes the project, and he wants me to speak with the defense breed. And so now I'm on a mission to try to speak with them and try to see how I can get this project rolling in a very official manner, if they do deem it as something that is worthy of it.
So I'm assuming you've got some people working with you too. So like, what does your team look like? Are you guys all kind of helping wherever you see fit? Do you have kind of roles designed? What does that look like?
Yes, we do have someone working on the development side when it comes to the front end and back end of our applications. I'm trying to get the best of the best involved, and I do think we have done so. And so I also have someone who's working on the Solidity development side of things, as well as the token arrangement, tokenomics. But our team have a lot of history when it comes to not only the crypto space, but also when it comes to their fields in general. The person who's doing the development side of things worked at Amazon, and he quit. I mean, he quit because he just didn't feel like doing it anymore, even though his pay was very generous. And he's now working on this project with us. And the other person was an Oxford graduate. So, I mean, we have like top-notch members in our team. And we are expanding on it day to day. We have a lot more developers, to try to organize the NFT marketplace and create that as well.
That's super cool. Were they all early SHIB investors? I'm curious.
One of them is, but the other one is actually more new. But now he is very much so invested. So he's all about it. Yeah.
That's awesome, man. So in terms of other, we'll just digress for a minute. In terms of just overall crypto market, man, right now, what do you think's going on?
Well, I mean, I'm sure most people that are watching this already, have a general idea of what's been happening. You have the whole situation with, Russia and Ukraine, which has been kind of a consistent situation, as well as, the tampering and the hawkishness that's been going on with the Fed. There's just a lot of pressure. And also, I guess I should also include next week, which is going to be that executive order that Biden had placed on cryptocurrencies. Don't know what that's going to be, but we do have a lot of pressure on the crypto market. And, it's not really any different when it comes to the stock market in general. It's just kind of one of those situations where there's a lot of fear out there, recession fears. It kind of feels kind of like 2019 all over again, in 2020 when we had that first crash. It just felt like doomsday, the end of the world. But in my experience, these moments when there's such elevated amounts of fears, and when you see that these stocks and these crypto prices are in extremely oversold territories, this is when you want to start getting in. I'm not a financial advisor, but that is usually my way of thinking. However, volatility is existing, and I do think it is going to persist following the next week, because there's a lot happening. Biden can either regulate something that will negatively impact the crypto market, or they could not do much because, again, if it's a midterm year, so they obviously can't, I don't think, afford to make such a disastrous decision quite yet if they had that intention. So yeah, it's a very uncertain time, right? Next week, supposedly we're supposed to have the whole war happen after the Olympics. So we'll just see how things play out. But right now, I think the best thing to do is just to stay calm and see how things play out.
Are you staying invested during these times?
Yes, I had been taking, some profits, last year, and I have been trickling in, pretty persistently, actually. So yeah, I definitely I went very heavy early on when it hit $33,000 pretty recently, and so yeah, I'm just dollar cost averaging in. And kind of looking at the analytics of the charts to try to determine the best time.
Awesome. So anybody just tuning in, we are with JD. He is creating Paw Zone. It's going to be a big part of the future of NFTs in the Shiba Inu ecosystem, and Gaming Guild as well is attached to that, which pretty much allows everyone to play a role and to be a part. So if you have questions for JD too, I'll be looking in the chat and definitely bring those in. So JD, what other projects are you working on? Do you have time to do anything else? Is this kind of your sole focus?
Yes, it's definitely been taking up the majority of my time. In fact, I feel like sometimes I don't even have enough time for this project alone, because it really is a lot of stuff. So it's definitely been my main priority. I had started a YouTube channel, and I kind of put that on what's the word? Just kind of put it on hold, on standby. Yes. And so essentially it is really my main priority, and I'm essentially living and sleeping Paw Zone at the moment. Yeah.
So have anybody else, like maybe not from the dev team, but like just the general community members, like what's the sentiment been from them in terms of what you're building here?
Well, so far it's been positive, I would say, for the most part. I haven't really seen any negative tones to the things that they've been saying. It's really been truly amazing to have them even have some sort of recognition of it already, given that we don't even have a base page, let alone the projects released yet. So, it is all a matter of trust, because I do understand there's a lot of projects out there that come by nowadays and try to use Shiba Inu as a way of a marketing ploy to try to get more members. But it's not a legitimate project, and it's a scam. So there's a lot of that kind of stuff going on right now. And so I just want to try to build their trust and make sure that they know that my intentions are in the right place when it comes to the Shiba Inu community.
Definitely, man. So I'm waiting to see if anybody in chat has some questions. Keep them rolling in.
Sure thing.
Also, everybody in chat, smash that like button, subscribe. More people need to know what JD is up to. I think this is super awesome. This is something I think many people can learn from that are just Shiba Inu investors. If you have a great idea like JD has here, you could do something like this. Like you could put a team together, and that is the power of the SHIB ecosystem and decentralization and what's been built here. So think about that, right? I mean, if you're sitting there with a good idea, act on it. Really. I mean, JD, could you speak to that? Like,
absolutely. I'm glad you're actually bringing me into this, because that has been my main mission from the very beginning, right? I wrote the proposal to write different applications that the SHIB Army could possibly get inspired by to create something themselves. And since then, I've just constantly been telling the community that it's up to you guys to make a difference, to expand and to add utility to the Shiba Inu tokens and the Shiba Inu ecosystem. And so it's been a really amazing thing to see all these projects coming about around Shiba Inu. But I do think that we are just in the beginning, and we can start seeing more massive projects come and pave the way for the future of Shiba Inu itself.
All right, this is going to go off topic a little bit, but they want your Shiba Inu price prediction, 2022. So this is you know how it is, man. When you go back in the world, everybody wants a price prediction. What's going to happen?
Right. Well, I'll tell you. Last time I was on your pop, and he had asked me the same question, and I told him that we're going to surpass Doge by the end of the year, which we actually ended up doing momentarily. So, when it comes to SHIB, it's its own beast, essentially, because it's got a community that is so strong that most, if not all, other cryptocurrencies are lacking as of now. And so, the SHIB army is only growing as time goes on. However, it doesn't mean that it isn't susceptible to what happens to Bitcoin, right? And so to understand where SHIB is going to go, you have to figure out where is Bitcoin going to be in 2022. And so in my opinion, I do think this is going to be a fantastic year for Bitcoin. Regardless of what we're seeing right now in the short term, I'm actually amazed at how well it's holding up given the amount of FUD that's been circulating the past couple months. It's incredible. This is like the China ban times 100, right? Like there's so much going on that is terrifying. And yet, Bitcoin is able to stand its ground. And so I do think we are going to reach around $100,000 very easily by the end of this year. And if that were to happen, I do think we're going to lose another zero in SHIB.
I love it, man. Hey, I pulled up a tweet here, recent tweet from Pawzone. No one is bullish enough on Pawzone. We're building applications for the SHIB ecosystem with extremely effective burns. I want to stop there. Can we get some more details on the burns?
Sure thing. Absolutely. So our applications, while also being applications that the users for NFT marketplaces and users of gaming guilds will want to use over the rest, we also made sure that we will have very effective burns in place. And so when it comes to the NFT marketplace, 0.5% of every single transaction will be sent to the SHIB burn address. So that is pretty significant when you think about it, because OpenSea has a 2.5% transaction fee, whereas we only have a 1.8% fee, and 0.5 of it will go to the burn address, 0.3% will go to the treasury, and the remaining 1% is going to get redistributed to the holders who are staking our Paw token. And so we're not trying to take the money from people through transactions. We want to give it all back to the people. And so now with the guild, 20% of what the gaming guild earns is going to be sent to the SHIB burn address as well. So that's overall a big, significant amount. It's what the guild is earning, right? So we have a paying structure where, the players are going to get, it depends on, of course, what level they are going to get, but they're going to get an allocation depending on that level. And then the scholarship managers are going to get a fixed 20% rate. And then the gaming guild is going to get, varying depending on the user's level, will get anywhere from 0 to 10%, and 20% of what the guild earns from that percentage is going to be redistributed to the SHIB burn address. So that's going to be a pretty significant portion going to that burn wallet. Mark my words.
I love it, man. All right, we're going to go macro again. Will Shiba Inu go to Robinhood, and when?
Robinhood really just seems like they enjoy ignoring the community. So I have this theory that Robinhood is kind of in a situation where they're kind of stuck with Doge, and they don't want to get involved, I guess. It seems as though. However, I do think that they're making a very massive mistake, and they are most likely going to bend the knee and get SHIB into their platform. So I do think it's going to happen. Whether if it's going to happen this year or next year, I don't know, but I do think it's coming.
I do too, man. Yeah, you wonder if it's like all the shitstorm that they were in, with
right.
federal regulations and things like that. But you're right. That's a good point.
Their stock, I mean, gosh,
yeah,
it really is just in a terrible spot.
But you're right, though. That's a really good point. They kind of went all in on Dogecoin, and maybe they feel like obligated to stay there. And it's fascinating because it's the only real exchange out there like that I think would be considered top tier or tier 2 or what have you, right? That hasn't listed it. I mean, it's like they're missing out on so much profit, and their quarterly numbers late last year were terrible.
Right.
Yeah,
it's really, really bad. They're in a very bad situation. And in my honest opinion, I think we're going to have much more successful derivatives coming in the near term that are going to list SHIB. And so we're not even going to be worried too much about the fact that Robinhood is doing their own thing. Okay, so I think we'll be okay regardless of what happens.
Yeah, I agree, man. So everybody who's tuning in just right now, all 225 of you, thanks for hanging out with us. This is JD.
Thank
Go
you.
definitely follow him on Twitter. Let me show you his Paw Zone page as well. Definitely go over and give them a follow. They are doing some great things for the Shiba Inu ecosystem. JD, you want to recap kind of what you're doing with NFTs in the gaming guild, because we got a lot of new people coming in.
Sure thing.
Yeah.
So essentially, we're building Paw Zone, which is going to be the ultimate NFT marketplace and gaming guild for the Shiba Inu community, as well as the users of those applications. So they're going to prefer those over the rest because of the fact that we're going to make sure that we clear up any of the shortcomings that NFT marketplaces and gaming guilds currently have. And so I've stated this many times, is that I'm viewing this as an investor, and I just wanted to make sure that we build something that is not only something that the Shiba Inu community is going to be in favor of, but again, it's going to be a platform that all users of those applications will want to use over the rest. And again, our main mission is to end up on Shibarium when the time comes. And so we're trying to, gain trust, which is, I think, the most important thing to do when it comes to the Shiba Inu developers, because I know there's a lot of derivatives out there, a lot of other projects that use the Shiba Inu name in a very negative light. And so as a member of the Shiba Inu community for quite some time now, I do hope that we're going to be able to garner that trust if we haven't already.
I love it, man. One thing I didn't ask you yet, do we have a timeline? I know that could be tricky. You don't have to give an exact date, but do you have some sort of timeline, or does it kind of hinge on Shibarium?
Well, like the Shiba Inu developers, I don't like to place dates on different applications and other deadlines, because you never know what speed bumps are going to come along the way. However, I can tell you that we are aiming for an April release for our NFT marketplace. So that is the goal. Okay. And we also are going to release our Paw token on that date as well, because we plan on allocating to OpenSea users, to Shiboshi holders, to Discord members. Also, if you wanted to follow the Discord and stay active in the chat, you will get a little bit of an allocation for that. But finally, we're also going to be giving an allocation to Shiba Swap stakers. So we wanted to make sure to allocate to the right people instead of just doing a launch pad, because we believe that Launchpad is a very ineffective method to get users that only want to make profit and not necessarily people who believe in a project. So we felt that allocating our tokens this way was the right approach.
That's awesome, man. Hey, was there something like I haven't asked you yet that you just kind of want to address?
Sure. Let me think. There's nothing that really comes to mind as of now. However, I just want to reiterate the fact that we are building something that we hope will be beneficial, and that is always going to be our main priority, is the Shiba Inu community. And I do want to make the developers proud, the Shiba Inu developers proud, and I'm going to work very hard at trying to gain and garner their trust. Obviously, they've used the solutions on the proposal quite a bit, and so I do think they know that my ideas are good. Now it's all about showing them that the actual execution is just as good, if not better.
Love it, man. Hey, they're talking about Shiba Land. What are your thoughts?
Well, what are my thoughts about it? I'm absolutely excited about it, of course. I mean, it was written in my proposal. So obviously it's something that is so exciting, and it's really, it's really incredible to see that kind of impact, in front of your eyes. It really doesn't even feel real, but it is definitely something I'm extremely bullish on, because I am, like I said, a play to earn gamer, and there's nothing I'm more bullish on in that sector than lands. So yeah, I'm excited.
What do you play?
What do I play as of now? Well, I was heavily into Axie Infinity. I still am, but now I have a scholarship program in which users kind of just use it, and I'm able to to gain passive income off of it now. But one game that I am more than excited to play is Illuvium, which is actually supposed to be coming very soon. And so, I'm ready to go with that. Before, of course, Shiba Inu Games comes out, and then that's really going to be where my main priority goes.
And there's so many projects with play to earn elements now. Are there any others that you're like super bullish on? I'd love to get your perspective on that, because the seat that I sit in, it's always we're always reading about these new projects and they're doing play to earn, and it's hard for me to kind of sift through and see what's what. I mean, are there any ones that are like out there that you're like, oh yeah, this is going to be a hit?
No, there's 3 of them that come to mind, right? And I've already mentioned Illuvium. And then another one is going to be Gala Games' Mirandis is going to be, I think, a massive hit, because I think it's going to take immersion to the next level. I'm not sure if you know what Mirandis is. So Mirandis is going to be like a Sims-like game in which people can interact and play in a game where everyone has their own jobs and their own, sense of interaction with other people, where they can have their own buildings. And if you go to a town to, let's say, get some, health or some weapons and stuff, you go to these stores, and there's actual people in those stores offering you those assets. So it's going to be like a real life economy. And then the third one is going to be Big Time. Without a doubt, I think Big Time is going to be massive. We have very, very big developers on board there. We have developers from World of Warcraft, God of War, let's see, Medal of Honor, Call of Duty, you name it. Like they're all there. And so, yeah, we have a lot to be excited when it comes to the play to earn gaming sector.
So a couple of things I want to pick your brain about, and then we'll do another recap too, because people are asking here in chat. Definitely do that. We'll talk about Paw Zone. PlaySide though, Microsoft purchasing PlaySide, and then of course the very cryptic tweet out there by Microsoft. You have thoughts
about the dogs? So I did find that very interesting. And so they purchased Blizzard for like an amount, I think it was like $60 billion, right? Like they bought Blizzard for a lot. And so, yeah, I do think that it's very interesting that they're going in that direction. And who knows, we might be seeing some sort of partnership happening with, Shiba Inu and Microsoft, which if that happened, then it's game over. I mean, geez, I can't even imagine how impactful that's going to be. But yeah, so I definitely know about it. There's not too much to know yet, as they are really good at keeping things a secret. But I do think that things are happening behind the scenes that we don't really know about.
A couple other like bigger macro things about the Shiba Inu ecosystem, and then we'll get back to Paw Zone for anybody who missed it. One thing that I've been looking at a lot, how about all these Ethereum whales who just keep buying Shiba Inu? Over $2 billion now in Ethereum whale wallets. What does that tell you as an investor? What should that tell all of us as investors in Shiba Inu?
That should tell everyone to never underestimate Shiba Inu. Short and sweet, right? Like the fact is that these people know, including us, know what the potential for Shiba Inu is. And if you were an early investor, you've been an NFT trader, and so most people understand how Shiba Inu is an NFT project on crack, essentially. And there's been nothing like it. It's the first of its kind to be so polished, I guess, for the Ethereum space. And so they understand what's going on here and how we're essentially creating a network with a very strong community behind it that hasn't really been seen before with other projects.
100%. And another question I have for you, Shiba Inu being accepted for payment. Like we haven't seen this fully take off, right? Like we're not there yet. But do you think Shiba Inu is kind of setting themselves up to be a front runner when global payments becomes a thing with cryptocurrency? I mean, we see all these merchants, the partnership with Flexo, which I believe it opened up like 40,000 different companies. Right. Like, what do you think about when you see these headlines and this news?
Well, I do think that we're going to start seeing a lot more purchasing power with SHIB. Obviously, we already have shopping.io, right? But I wouldn't be surprised if we saw something like Amazon down the line. something big. And if not, we're already creating our own Amazon-like product with ShibaNet and all the other applications that are going to be expanding on the ecosystem. And if you look at it through that lens, in reality, we have the potential to be able to create the projects that will allow for true purchasing power, you know? So, but I do think that we're going to start seeing real world purchasing power in the coming years.
I love it, man. Hey, Work Zay, what's happening? He's a Discord member. So what did Zay and anybody else miss who's just popping in when we talk about Pawzone? Oh, I still got you?
Yep, you got me.
Okay. What did Zay and everybody else miss in terms of Pawzone if they're just popping in?
Okay, so when it comes to Pawzone, obviously, you know, it's my project, it's my baby, right? And so this was kind of my next step after the proposal that I had written, and we're essentially creating the ultimate play to earn, gaming guild, as well as the NFT marketplace for the Shiba Inu ecosystem. And obviously, we do want to make sure that our applications are not only applications that benefit the Shiba Inu community, but are applications that the users of those applications will prefer over the rest. And so it's been a very tricky balance, but we do have the resources, and we did have the roadmap to be able to execute on such a thing. And so we're very excited about the project and the future of Pawzone. We think it's going to make a major dent in the Shiba Inu ecosystem and inspire many to create other applications that will have similar impacts. So yeah, I just couldn't be more excited about it. And so definitely should check it out if you guys are interested in NFT marketplaces and gaming guilds.
Definitely. And you should definitely follow the page over on Twitter. It's at Pawzone Official. So you can stay up to date with everything that's going on. And JD has his personal Twitter too, at JD's_updates. And he is constantly updating you on the project here on his personal page too. JD, man, it's always a pleasure. I think what you're doing is absolutely amazing, dude. And I commend you, for really taking a chance here, man, because this is the opportunity we've all been given within the Shiba Inu ecosystem. And I commend you, man. You've stepped up, and you're really building something special.
I truly appreciate it, Zach. You know, I really do hope that I'm inspiring others, as I'm paving the way towards, massive projects for the Shiba Inu ecosystem. And so it's always been my dream to have that kind of influence. And so we're just getting started with this journey, guys. And, I just can't wait to see what happens along this adventure.
On that point, one last question. What would you tell somebody who's out there thinking about doing something similar to what you've done and to utilize their skill sets to help out the Shiba Inu ecosystem? What would you say to those people?
Well, obviously, I'd say that, there's nothing really holding you back. Again, this is exactly what Ryoshi wanted. Ryoshi intended for everyone to collectively use their expertise to create something that will have an impact for the Shiba Inu ecosystem. And so there's nothing stopping you. And I know it's a lot of it's very intimidating, right? To be able to create a project, let alone a project for the Shiba Inu community. But if you can push on through and actually develop something that you truly believe is going to be impactful, then I think you should definitely go for it. And that is hopefully what I've been able to show to the community, that it is possible, and that hopefully, as the Pawzone project moves to its release, that people will really start to realize that I could do this myself, and I will have a major impact as well.
We got to have you back on before that release, and as we get more updates on Pawzone and what it brings to the table.
Of course,
always fun, brother. I appreciate it.
Likewise, Zach. Likewise. So thank you so much for having me, and I look forward to the next YouTube live stream that we do. Of course.
Definitely, man. And everybody who's just checking in, if you're just catching this, go back, watch the whole stream, learn about what JD's doing with Pawzone, and make sure you support him over on Twitter so you can follow along and stay up to date. JD, we'll be in touch, man.
Sounds good, buddy. Thank you guys so much.
Yep.
Bye.
Later.